Minecraft Coding and Programming, Section 4, Turtle Farming Challenge. With this session, you'll need to start the server with the Turtle Farming Challenge map. Students will start off having some choices. One choice will be to press this button to begin the farming lesson, and there's another button to bypass the farming lesson. If the students are at all unsure about how to farm, they really will need to complete the farming lesson, the farming tutorial. So we'll run through the farming tutorial. There's a welcome screen, gives you a little bit of instructions about how to do the farming tutorial. Get a pressure plate, to place the pressure plate in front of the door. Right click, place it in front of the door, and when you examine the pressure plate, it will open up. Talk to the first farmhand. The farmhand says, please bring me some bread. So if you open the chest, there's some bread. And you give the farmhand some bread, and he gives you another pressure plate. You put the pressure plate on the next door, and you can go to the next phase of the challenge. If this farmhand would like some bread as well. So we go over the chest and find 3 bundles of wheat. The instructions over here tell us to place the 3 bundles of wheat in that order on the crafting table. That gives us a loaf of bread, and we need to give the loaf of bread to the farmhand. The farmhand then gives us a pressure plate, which we place on the next door sill. Now there's some wheat growing. The farmhand is looking for some bread. We need to get our supplies from the chest. This is bone meal fertilizer. And our task here is to fertilize the crops. So we'll just apply the fertilizer. And then we can cut the wheat. Just a right click or left click to cut it. Left click to apply the fertilizer, right click to cut it. We need to go over to the crafting table and arrange the wheat as we did in the last portion of the tutorial. And we need to pass the bread to the farmhand. And he'll give you a pressure plate so you can go to the next stage of the tutorial. In this stage of the tutorial, we are given some seeds. Notice each time we walk through the doorway, everything in our inventory is taken away. So we need to plant the seeds, which is just a left click, a right click, I'm sorry. And then we need to fertilize the seeds. For the fertilizer, it's not always the same number of applications of fertilizer to grow the wheat. So we have 3 bundles of wheat. We go over to the crafting table. And the bread to the farmhand. We need to be a little closer. We have a pressure plate through the next door. The soil needs to be tilled. So we have a hoe, some seeds, and some bone meal. We just right click to till the soil, right click to plant the seeds, right click to apply the bone meal, and then left click to harvest the wheat. Over to the crafting table. And we have bread, which we will then give to the farmhand. Who gives us a pressure plate, which allows us to the next door. The final step. This step isn't going to be needed for this challenge, but the students will have to complete it anyway. They need to actually build They will need to make a hoe, make their own hoe. The turtles they're going to be using in this session have the hose already made, but here's the recipe for the hose, or to build a hoe. So we can go ahead and select our hoe, plant the seeds, fertilize the seeds, harvest the wheat, go back to the crafting table, make some bread. Farmhand wants some bread, so we need to give him the bread. We get a pressure plate, which we can place at the base of the door. Once we complete the tutorial, we'll need to follow the pathway. After following the path, you'll arrive at the area where you pick a team. There are a number of different criteria that you should use when you're deciding how many of the challenge areas that you'll be using with your class, mostly based on class size and the resources. You can reference the teacher's guide for information on that. So we'll just proceed directly to a challenge area by pressing a button. Now we're in a challenge area. Jump into creative mode so we can get a quick overview of what the challenge area looks like. And you'll see as we look around the challenge area, there are beacons. The beacons are surrounded by turtles. Each beacon has a chest with programming disks and remotes, and also has 9 turtles, 3 digging turtles, 3 mining turtles, and 3 farming turtles. This area is surrounded by walls, glass walls, so the students can't leave this area. It's a decent sized area, and it'll be pretty important for the students to pick their farming area based on the landscape around it. For instance, probably wouldn't want to farm in the sandy area right here. It'd be a little hard to grow your crops, grow your wheat. Over there's a nice grassy area. So we'll run over to this grassy area, and the way we'll be doing this challenge is that we will leave creative mode. We will be doing the advanced challenge. There's a number of different ways of running the challenge. You can run a basic or an intermediate or advanced challenge. For the basic and intermediate challenges, you'll be using the teacher's menu by either pressing P or M to access the menu, and then use the Give tab. And then you can type in the name of the items you'd like to give the students. Not seeds, seeds. And you can select the number that you'd like to give, the number of items you'd like to give them, and which players you'd like to give it to, or you could select give to all players. But we're going to be running the advanced challenge so that you can demonstrate all the different types of things that the students will be required to do, regardless of, or in any possible situation. So we'll find a farming turtle. Here's a farming turtle. We'll bind the remote to the farming turtle. Oh, we've bound the remote to the farming turtle. Now we can access the turtle's programming interface. Insert a disk. We'll write a short bit of code telling the turtle exactly what we'd like it to do. Oh, before we do that, let's name our disk. Makes it a little tough to name the disk once you start writing the program. And we'll just write, we'll name this one Get Seed. Now, this is a generic command to dig forward. It's actually just use your tool in the forward direction depending on what tool you have. So we won't actually be digging because we were using a hoe. So we'll move our turtle out and in the direction of some grass, towards some grass, and then we'll start running our program. And with the hoe, the turtle will cut the grass if there's grass in front of it. If there's no grass in front of it, it will hoe the ground in front of it. We'll run it a few times. After we run it a few times, we can go ahead and check the turtle's inventory. It's picked up, two bundles of seeds already. We will spin the turtle around, run it back towards us already, or again, and run the program more times. Let's see how many seeds it has picked up. We have 3 seeds. It's a good idea to plant more seeds than you think you're going to need. So we'll see if we can pick up a few more seeds before we go ahead and start planting. Did we pick up any more? Still just 3 seeds. Let's see if we've had any more luck. We have 4 seeds. All right, we'll take that for now. We'll run over to where the turtle is, and now there's some more grass in front of it. Maybe we'll gather a few more seeds while we're here. Once again, at this point, the students' programs are going to be very, very simple, just a few lines of code. We'll put the turtle in position. So we're going to want to use the turtle to hold the ground below it and then move forward. We will go ahead and hoe an area, get it ready for planting. We can back the turtle up and change a few of these programs. We'll tell it to place some seeds down, and then move backwards and run the program. We planted some seeds. Now, we could just let them grow, and after a while, we will have wheat. But if we'd like to have this whole process go a little more quickly, we can mine some coal and trade the coal for fertilizer. So we'll have to go and find some mining turtles. There were some mining turtles over by the other beacon, but that's not a really great place to mine. There's a ravine over here, and there's some mining turtles next to the ravine. This might be a much better place to do some mining. So what I will do is I will bind remote to a new turtle, and then I will use this turtle to dig down into this ravine. Now, this ravine is surrounded by a fence, and I can't get over the fence, but the turtle can help me out with that. So we'll place a disc in here, and we'll name the disc. Maybe we'll just call it mine coal. We haven't written a program yet, but that's all right. So we will bring this turtle over here so we can use it. And it seems as though there's some grass blocking its path. So we will just tell it to use its tool forward and then to move forward. Gets the grass out of its way. Movement's obstructed. We're actually in the turtle's way right now. So we will get out of its way, and we will have it knock down the fence so we can get through there. So we'll try and find some coal. Now, if we can take a little look around in here, we might be able to see some coal. We can climb out on the ledge here. And I see some coal down there. I see some more coal down there. So we'll manipulate the turtle to get that coal for us. We'll alter the program a little bit for when we get down there, when we get close to the coal. So we'll tell it to move down a little further. It doesn't want to move down. There must be something in its way. To move forward. No, trying to move back. That's moving down right there. And I believe that's in front of the coal right there. So run the program once. Nothing to dig here. I guess maybe we need to move forward one more. And maybe down. That looks like it's going to get the coal there. And we can check the inventory. Yes, we have some coal. Probably need a little more than that. Let's move down another block. Was there more coal? No, there's any more there. All right. We have, I think at this point we have a couple blocks of coal. That should be enough to do what we want to do. We can take the coal out of the turtle's inventory and put it in our inventory. And in order to get some bone meal, we need to find the traveling merchant. And it just so happens that I know where the traveling merchant is. The students will have to search for the traveling merchant, and it could take some time. The traveling merchant is a tricky little fellow, but he is up in this area over here. And when we visit the traveling merchant, he will give us a free sample. We can talk to him. He gave us he gave us a free sample, but we will trade some of our coal for some more. We have 2 coal. That'll give us 9 bone meal. And we can go back to our turtle, to our farm. Which is way over at that other beacon over there. And we can fertilize our farm. Well, it looks like as we were gone, our grass didn't really grow much at all. But we'll need to tie our remote back to this turtle again, because right now it's still tied to the other turtle that's in the mine. So hold down the left shift key and right click. Now we're tied to this turtle. And we'll need to place the bone meal in the turtle's inventory. And we'll, oh, some of that grass just grew. We'll move the turtle over the grass. We're telling it to move backwards right now. We're going to want it to move forwards after we place our fertilizer. So maybe we don't want it to move at all. We don't know how much fertilizer we're going to have to put on each spot. So we'll run the program, place in the fertilizer, move the turtle, run the program to place some more fertilizer. And that's all the wheat we're going to need, but we'll just finish it up anyway. Now we need to harvest the wheat. In order to harvest the wheat, we will need to use our tool to dig down and move back. Run the program. And we have wheat in the turtle's inventory. So then we'll take our wheat and we need to find the crafting table. Once again, the students aren't going to know exactly where the crafting table is, but it just so happens that I do know where the crafting table is. And it is in the main shelter in this area, in each challenge area, which is the larger shelter over on the far side. And you can right-click on the crafting table to access it. And here we have bread. We've completed the challenge. For students that complete the challenge early, there are a number of treasure chests that are hidden around each challenge area, and they'll have to go run around and find treasure chests and take a piece of treasure out of each chest to prove that they found the chest. And that concludes this walkthrough.